it's a day I never wanted to see. But you know, the overwhelming love and memories and laughs, and you know, my mama left behind a village, man. I appreciate all the reaching out, just everything, man.
It's a heartbreaking moment for the music world as we say goodbye to a true legend. Angie Stone touched millions with her soulful sound, heartfelt lyrics, and undeniable talent. Her sudden passing has left fans, fellow artists, and the entire industry in shock. Social media has been flooded with tributes from music icons sharing memories, favorite songs, and the impact she had on their lives. At her funeral, emotions ran deep. What started as a moment of sorrow quickly turned into a powerful celebration of her life. Friends, family, and longtime collaborators gathered, not just to mourn, but to honor the incredible legacy she leaves behind. The room was filled with love, respect, and memories of a woman who gave everything to her music and those around her. As mourners gathered under the high ceilings of the Word of Faith Cathedral, emotions ran high and the air was heavy with both grief and love. The grand sanctuary, known for its towering stained glass windows and massive chandeliers, was filled with people who had come from all over to say their goodbyes. Angie Stone's gold casket sat at the front, surrounded by an ocean of red roses, her favorite flower, symbolizing love, passion, and the deep impact she left on those who knew her. The ceremony wasn't just a funeral, it was a reflection of Angie's influence. Some of the biggest names in music and entertainment were present. Fellow R&B and neo-soul artists like Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, and Musiq Soulchild were spotted in the front rows, their faces etched with grief. Many had shared the stage with Angie, collaborated with her, or simply admired her from afar. Gospel legends who had known her from her early days in music also came to pay their respects, as well as producers and songwriters who had worked with her throughout her decades-long career. Her family, dressed in elegant yet somber black attire, sat together, holding hands and leaning on one another for strength. Fans lined the cathedral's walls, some wiping away tears, others whispering to each other about their favorite songs, their favorite memories of the artist who had given them so much through her music. Angie's music was played softly in the background before the service began, a mix of her biggest hits and some of her lesser-known but deeply loved tracks. The sound of her voice filled the room one last time, reminding everyone why they were there. One by one, speakers took to the stage, sharing their stories, their love, and their respect for Angie. Some spoke about her career, how she had helped shape the neo-soul movement, how she had written some of the most meaningful songs of a generation. Others spoke about the person she was behind the scenes. But amidst the speeches and songs, it was Angie's son who delivered a tribute that left not a single dry eye in the room. As he took the stage, you could see the weight of the moment on his face. Holding back tears, he adjusted the microphone and took a deep breath before speaking. The room fell completely silent. Every eye was on him, every ear tuned in, waiting to hear his words. His voice trembled as he started. He said, "She wasn't just my mother. She was my best friend, my teacher, my biggest fan, and my greatest inspiration." He went on to share personal stories that painted a picture of Angie not just as a music icon, but as a loving mother. He recalled how, despite her busy career, she never missed an important moment in his life, how she would fly back from a concert just to make it to his school events or be there for him when he needed her most. He said, "She had this way of making you feel like you were the only person in the world when she talked to you. Even with all her success, she stayed humble. She never let fame change her heart." One of the most touching moments came when he read a letter he had written to her years ago but never got the chance to share. In it, he thanked her for teaching him about love, resilience, and the power of music. "You always told me that music could heal, that it could bring people together. And Mom, your music did just that." There wasn't a single person in the room who wasn't moved. Some audience members wiped away tears, others nodded in agreement, feeling the weight of his words. Even those who had known Angie for years seemed to be hearing a new side of her, one that made them love and appreciate her even more. By the time he finished, the room was filled with sniffles and soft sobs. He stepped away from the mic, looked towards the casket, and whispered, "I love you, Mom," before walking back to his seat.
Man, my mama, that's my dog. That's more than my mama. That's like my best friend. Like, man, she would come to the studio with me, like, and she still had that fire, man. Like, she never lost it. Like, I made a song called Miss Angie's Son. I wrote it like for her to sing the hook, and you know I did the hook, and she's like, nah. She's like, nah, son, you can go ahead and do it. But we went in the studio. She came in the studio with me, like bombarded my session, like just took it over. You know.
If there was one way to truly honor Angie Stone, it was through music. Her greatest gift to the world, her funeral wasn't just a farewell, it was a celebration of the sound she gave to the industry, the soul she poured into her lyrics, and the love she shared through every note. And in that spirit, some of the biggest names in gospel, R&B, and neo-soul gathered to pay their respects the best way they knew how, through song. The lineup was nothing short of legendary. Gospel powerhouses like Yolanda Adams and Kirk Franklin opened the musical tributes with an uplifting rendition of Going Up Yonder, setting the tone for a service that felt as much like a homegoing celebration as it did a tearful goodbye. Their harmonies soared through the cathedral, filling the space with the kind of spiritual energy that Angie herself had always carried in her music. Then came an unforgettable moment. Jill Scott, one of Angie's closest industry peers, took the stage. Dressed in all white, she performed a heartfelt rendition of No More Rain in This Cloud, one of Angie's most beloved songs. As she sang, tears streamed down her face, her voice breaking slightly as the weight of the moment settled in. The lyrics, originally about overcoming heartbreak and pain, took on an entirely new meaning in this setting, now speaking to the loss everyone felt in the room. Erykah Badu followed, delivering a stripped-down acoustic version of Brotha, a song Angie had written as a love letter to Black men, celebrating their strength and perseverance. The performance was intimate, emotional, and deeply personal, as Erykah added her own unique spin to a song that had long been an anthem of appreciation and empowerment. One of the most moving performances of the night came from Angie's longtime collaborator, D'Angelo. Sitting behind a grand piano, he played the opening notes to Wish I Didn't Miss You. Originally about longing for a lost love, the song now served as a heartbreaking goodbye, reflecting the emptiness left behind in her absence.
You know, living with my mom and being with her and going on tour, and you still don't really grasp like what she is or who she is or what she mean to people. Like, she, you know, like people loved her music, but now, you know, in our passing, I'm seeing she was like more of a spirit. She was like an angel. She's like a tree. She planted roots in the ground.
As the service neared its conclusion, a choir came together for a final song, Total Praise. The room was filled with hands lifted in the air, voices joined in worship, as the power of the music transcended grief. It wasn't just about mourning anymore, it was about celebrating the gift Angie had given to the world. But beyond the melodies and lyrics, Angie Stone's legacy is one of resilience, breaking barriers, and paving the way for future artists. Her journey began long before she became a solo superstar. In the late 1970s, she was a trailblazer as part of The Sequence, one of the first all-female rap groups. At a time when hip-hop was still in its early stages, Angie helped lay the foundation for female MCs, proving that women had a place in the genre. Without The Sequence, there's no telling how different the landscape of hip-hop might have looked for women. Yet, she didn't stop there. Transitioning into R&B, she became a defining voice of the neo-soul movement in the late 1990s and early 2000s alongside artists like Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, and Maxwell. She helped craft a sound that was deeply rooted in classic soul, but infused with modern storytelling. Her voice, rich with experience and emotion, became instantly recognizable. Angie's songwriting was just as impactful as her voice. Many people don't realize that she was behind some of the biggest hits for other artists. Her pen touched songs that resonate across generations, influencing not just her own music, but the careers of others. She had a gift for storytelling, painting vivid pictures of love, heartbreak, struggle, and triumph. Her influence stretched far beyond the music industry. She was a role model for Black women in entertainment, an example of perseverance, authenticity, and staying true to oneself. She navigated an industry that wasn't always kind to women, especially those who didn't fit the industry's mold of what a female artist should look or sound like. Yet she never compromised. She remained Angie Stone, bold, soulful, and unapologetically herself. The artists she inspired are countless. Today's generation of neo-soul and R&B singers, from HAR to Ari Lennox, have all drawn from the path Angie paved. Her ability to blend old-school soul with contemporary R&B gave birth to a style that remains timeless. Even though she's gone, her music will live on. Fans will continue to play her songs, new artists will sample her work, and her influence will remain woven into the fabric of R&B and soul music. Angie Stone wasn't just an artist, she was a movement, a force, a voice that will echo through time.
God is good, man.
Though the church doors have closed and the final notes have faded, Angie Stone's voice will forever echo in the hearts of those who loved her. The day was filled with tears, music, and heartfelt words, but more than anything, it was a testament to the impact she had on the world. Fans, friends, and fellow artists came together not just to mourn, but to celebrate the life of a woman whose voice carried the weight of experience, love, and resilience. From the earliest days of hip-hop to the golden era of neo-soul, Angie's influence ran deep, touching generations of musicians and listeners alike. As the crowd slowly dispersed and the golden casket made its way to its final resting place, there was an unspoken understanding: this wasn't truly goodbye. Legends like Angie Stone never really leave us. They live on through the melodies they gave us, the memories they created, and the lives they changed. Her music will continue to inspire, her words will still heal, and her legacy will forever be a guiding light for those who follow in her footsteps.